So what if I told you that self-esteem wasn't just some vague, feel-good idea, but a vital psychological system, something you could actively build and strengthen every single day? Well, in this explainer, we're diving into Nathaniel Branden's groundbreaking work on the 6 pillars of self-esteem to show you exactly how to do that. Okay, let's start with this really powerful metaphor. Think about it. Just like your physical immune system helps you fight off a cold and bounce back, Branden says a healthy self-esteem does the exact same thing for your mind. It gives you the resilience to handle criticism, to get back up after a failure, and just navigate the messy parts of life without completely falling apart.
So what is self-esteem, really? Branden's definition breaks it down into 2 key parts. The first is self-efficacy. That's the deep-down confidence that you can think, you can learn, you can handle what life throws at you. The second part is self-respect. This is the core belief that you are fundamentally worthy of success and happiness. It's the powerful combo of I can and I am worthy. You need both.
Now here's why this is so critical. Low self-esteem creates a dangerous, self-fulfilling prophecy. If you secretly believe you're not good enough, you might, without even realizing it, kind of sabotage your own success, all just to prove that negative belief right. It's a vicious cycle. But just understanding that this cycle exists is the first step to breaking it, and that's exactly what we're here to do.
So here's the big shift in thinking. You don't find self-esteem like you find your lost keys. You build it. You earn it. It's the result of your actions, day in and day out. Branden laid out 6 specific, actionable practices, things you can do that form the foundation of real, authentic self-esteem, and he calls them the 6 pillars.
Let's get into it. We're going to start with the first 2 pillars. These are all about our inner world, our awareness, and, just as important, how we relate to ourselves. Think of these as the essential foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
On one hand, you've got living consciously, which is all about respecting reality, seeing things as they actually are. And on the other, you have self-acceptance, which is about refusing to be at war with yourself. So, one is about seeking the truth, and the other is about offering compassion for whatever truth you find.
Living consciously really just means having a first loyalty to the truth, seeing things clearly, not just how you wish they were. This directly builds your confidence because when you face reality head-on, you learn that you can handle it. So here's your action step for today. The next time you feel that pang of fear or discomfort, resist the urge to scroll on your phone or tune out. Instead, get curious. Treat that feeling as a signal to pay more attention. Okay, pillar 2, self-acceptance. Now, this doesn't mean you have to like every single thing about yourself. It just means you refuse to deny or disown any part of you. It's the absolute bedrock of self-respect. So try this little exercise. It's super simple but really powerful. First, just notice a feeling or a thought without judging it. Second, take a gentle breath. And third, just acknowledge it. Think to yourself, this is a part of me right now. That's it.
All right, so the next 2 pillars take us from our internal state and move us into how we actually act out in the world. This is where our inner life meets reality through our sense of responsibility and our assertiveness. Think of it this way. Self-responsibility is the understanding that you are the author of your own choices. You're in the driver's seat. Self-assertiveness, then, is honoring your inner self by actually expressing what you think, need, and value out in the world. So one is about ownership, and the other is all about expression. This leads to a really profound and honestly a pivotal question. I want you to think about this for a second. When you are really and truly in trouble or stuck, who are you waiting for to come and rescue you? The answer is the absolute core of self-responsibility. No one is coming. Now that might sound a little harsh, maybe even depressing, but stick with me here, because it is the single most empowering realization you can possibly have. Because if no one is coming, it means you are the one with the power. You are the solution. This builds a massive sense of competence, proving you can be the primary agent in your own life. So, how do you practice this starting right now? The very next time something goes wrong, make your first thought, what can I do about this, instead of whose fault is it? That one simple switch in focus moves you from a passive victim to an active, powerful creator. Now let's be clear, self-assertiveness is not about being aggressive or obnoxious. It's about being authentic. It just means treating your own wants, needs, and values as important and finding appropriate ways to express them. This grows your self-respect because it proves to yourself that your inner world is worthy of being heard. Here's a super simple way to practice. Today, find just one small, low-stakes moment to clearly state what you want, even if it's just choosing what's for dinner. Every time you do that, you're reinforcing that your voice matters.
All right, let's bring it home with our final two pillars. These are the big ones, the guiding principles that give our actions both direction and a kind of moral consistency. You could say they are what steer the ship and keep it on course.
So, living purposefully is about setting goals and using your energy to achieve them. It's your why. Personal integrity, on the other hand, is about making sure your actions are consistent with your values. That's your how. One gives you a destination, the other makes sure you get there without losing yourself along the way.
Living purposefully just means living proactively, not drifting around reactively. It builds your confidence by showing you that you are competent enough to set and achieve your goals. And look, it doesn't mean you need some grand, earth-shattering life mission. Just ask yourself this simple question: how can I be just 5% more purposeful today? That small, incremental approach makes this so much more accessible and effective, starting right now.
And that brings us to the final pillar, personal integrity. It's actually very simple. When your actions line up with your values, you feel whole. You have congruence. When they don't, it creates this internal breach. We all know how it feels when someone's words don't match their actions. We stop trusting them. Well, to build self-respect, we have to be able to trust ourselves in the exact same way.
Here's how to practice this immediately. Pick one of your core values. Maybe it's honesty, or compassion, or courage. Then, take just one small action today that is in perfect alignment with it. It could be as simple as telling a difficult truth, or keeping a tiny promise you made to yourself. Feel that? That little jolt of rightness? That is the feeling of integrity building your self-respect. So as we wrap all this up, what's the most important thing to take away? It's this. Self-esteem isn't a gift that some people just get and others don't. No, it is the result of practiced skills. And just like any other skill, it can be learned, it can be developed. And what's really crucial to understand is that these 6 pillars all support and reinforce one another, right? Being more conscious makes it way easier to accept yourself. Taking responsibility naturally makes you more assertive. Together, they create this powerful upward spiral, building a foundation of genuine inner strength. I want to leave you with this one last, pretty provocative thought from Brandon. The work of building self-esteem, it isn't just about feeling a little better. It is a courageous, challenging, and ultimately heroic act of honoring your own life. And maybe, just maybe, that's the greatest journey any of us can take.